Today we'll be making 2 gluten-free, allergy-free chocolate cake recipes. One is a chocolate cake and one is a chocolate souffle, and they're both only 2 ingredients each and have very little prep time. What you need for this, 8 eggs separated. Well, this is for the cake. I'm gonna do the souffle later. You need 8 eggs separated with yolk and egg white in different bowls, and 2 cups of chocolate chips, which is about 12 ounces of 350 grams. And I'm using semi-sweet chocolate because I don't like too sweet, but you can use dark chocolate or milk chocolate depending on how much sweet you like to eat. And first, you need to melt your chocolate. So I'm putting my pot on the stove at medium, and when it boils, I'll put it in there, but you can also microwave it for 1.5 to 2 minutes. And then you're gonna whisk your egg whites until it's a nice white bubbly paste. Manually it takes 5 to 10 minutes, but you can use a power whisk too. And if you're using a power whisk, you want to get it creamy. This is the consistency you want. We whisked it for about 7 to 10 minutes and it's getting frothy, and my water also looks like it's boiling, so I can melt my chocolate chips. And what you want to do is put it on medium heat, and when your water starts boiling, you want to put the chocolate chips on there, and don't let the chocolate chips touch the water. They have to only boil with the steam. And then just keep mixing it, don't stop until they melt. Melted now, and there's no chunks, so I can move it. Then I'm gonna mix it by adding a little bit of the yolk each time, and then keep mixing it just like that. This is the consistency you want. It's way thicker now. And this is also the consistency that it should be for the egg white. And once you've mixed all the egg yolks in, you want to add like about half of the egg white, mix it, and then start adding little by little and keep mixing. A lot of mixing. It's gotten to this consistency, and this is what you want. And to bake it, I don't want to bake it in this, so I'm going to transfer it to this thing. But first I have to apply butter as a non-stick so that it doesn't stick to the bottom. You don't have to wash it as much. And this is optional. If you're okay with it sticking, then you can just not put butter, but I recommend adding butter. Now I can transfer it. And I made this recipe because we're in quarantine and not many people would have the ingredients to make a cake full on. And this is just 2 ingredients, so it helps a lot. So satisfying seeing it layer on top. That's it. Now we can bake it, and you have to preheat your oven to 325 Fahrenheit and bake it to 30 minutes. Bake it for 30 minutes. Okay, my oven's heated to 325, so I'm gonna take my sheet, or whatever this is called, and then I'll put it in and bake it for 30 minutes. While this is baking, we can start working on the souffle. Now we'll be making the souffle while the cake is baking, and what you're going to need for the souffle, similar to the cake but not exactly the same, is 1/4 cup of Nutella or chocolate hazelnut spread and 2 eggs separated with white and yolk like earlier. And since your chocolate's already melted, you have to whisk the egg white again until it's the same texture as before. And I'm not going to show you how to whisk it again because it's just the same as the cake. Okay, now it's gotten to the consistency that it needs to be. So I'm just going to take the Nutella and do the same mixing procedure as the cake. A little bit of yolk, mix it. The cake is ready after we baked it for 35 minutes at 325 Fahrenheit, and we can take it out now. You can see that it's risen a lot, almost doubled in size. And I'm just going to decorate it with some sugar. Now we get back to the souffle. This is the consistency you want, and I'm separating it into these 2 little cups so that it rises better, and it's also because souffles are usually eaten in little cups, and I've applied butter on the sides so that my mom has to do less washing. Now, you want to preheat your oven to 375 degrees Fahrenheit and bake it for 15 to 17 minutes till it rises up to a nice fluffy consistency. And right now it's at 367, so I'll just wait a minute and then put it in the oven. Okay. Another thing that I forgot to tell you is that you don't want to fill it up until more than half, because when it rises it might overflow, so just keep it at half. And now bake it for 15 to 17 minutes. My souffles have baked, so I'm going to take them out. And we put a little bit more than the right amount, so it like shot out. It's not the perfect shape, but you're supposed to put like half. Okay, yeah, there. And I'm making this for my dad's birthday. But by the time I edit it and publish it, it's probably not going to be it anymore. So I'm going to eat one myself. But first let it cool down. And you can see the texture, it's nice and soft. Not like a cake, the cake texture is different. This is why I made 2 different recipes. But I'm going to let my dad eat one, and I'm going to eat one. I already know it's going to be delicious. It's too hot. It's a little bit cooled down, and I'm going to eat it. So soft. And the best thing is it only took 2 ingredients. Well, I'm gonna eat the rest of this later. But also the cake is, I wanna try that. Oh, but that's after I cut it for my dad. This is after my dad cut a piece. I'm gonna decorate it and then eat a little bit. Like and subscribe.